Roger Federer and athletic footwear company On announcing a partnership. The Swiss tennis champ joins the company as an investor and contributing product designer, taking a big step towards life after tennis. Joining us this morning, David Aleman is the co-founder of On, as well as tennis legend and now On investor, Roger Federer. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning, everybody.
Roger, I can't wait to hear more about this deal. I love this letter where On says, we noticed Roger wearing On shoes and reached out to him. Switzerland is a small place, and we started having dinner together. Is that how they got to you?
That's it. My wife had shoes, all my friends had shoes, and I've been seeing the company for over the last 5 years in my country. They're very strong in that market, of course, so it's all around me. And then I started wearing them myself, in the last couple of years now. And I was like, well, how about we get together, get to know each other, and who knows what comes out of it. And here we are announcing the partnership and my investment into the company, and I'm really, really excited because they're great people.
David, what takes a traditional, this could have been just a simple endorsement, but now investor and product designer, what took it to that next level?
We felt that kind of just a classical athletic sponsorship that's for conventional sports companies. And we just felt while the friendship developed that we share a lot of same passions, so a passion for innovation, a passion for design. Roger also very much shares a passion for fashion. And so we felt it's much more meaningful if Roger becomes a co-owner and part of the On team.
So, Roger, with this partnership and this investment, what does that actually entail? How will you contribute to the company? Are we going to see tennis sneakers now, for example?
I'm sure we're going to be talking about that, and you definitely want to stay tuned for that. As I run around the whole time, and I use them for running, but then, of course, I also, we're exploring maybe the idea of a tennis shoe, but we'll see what's going to happen there. We're working on also different other projects already. It's been a fun process, as nothing was really finalized yet, and we were already working on projects and just talking to each other because we just had a good feel about a possible partnership, and only recently it's really come to this. So it's been very exciting times already, but stay tuned. There's a lot of things coming now next year.
Now, Roger, for you personally, obviously the read is going to be, all right, he's getting his business ducks in a row for when he finally does decide to hang it up. What kind of clarity can you bring on that?
Yeah, it's interesting. In a way, I'm understanding the take, and on the other hand, I'm surprised that people think that way, because it's true. I haven't spoken much about what comes after, because I've always actually also said the last few years is I want to keep it as free as possible. So I basically have nothing when I'm retiring. But ever since I signed the Uniqlo deal and now I've gotten together with On, it's changed a little bit. I know I'm going to be, working also beyond my playing days, which I was anyway always going to do, also with my charity. And then I have my 4 children and my wife, and I want to spend maximum time there. So I'm really excited about it. But the team at On, they want me to keep playing. I want to keep playing. My fans want to keep playing. I just came back from a South America tour, and I played in front of almost 100,000 people. And they're all telling me, keep on playing, and I will. This is not the end of my tennis career. This is just a process that I'm going through right now.
So Roger will be a very active tennis playing entrepreneur, and we're looking forward to the year 2030 when he will end, and then actually we're going to have a little bit more time from him as well.
Nice. Okay. Well, it gives us the date to work with, I guess.
Exactly.
David, how quickly is On growing, and what does that mean in terms of longer-term plans for the company? Would you take it public, for example?
Look, we started in a small country, Switzerland, in 2010. Since then, we've basically been doubling every year. The US is now our biggest market, growing well beyond 100%. So we continue to keep it that way because On has really been a discovery brand. So people stepped into the shoe, they loved it. It's a unique feel, it's a unique patent, and so they recommend to friends, and we want to keep it up like that.
Roger, can you talk about the differences among athletic brands and how they differ as partners? I'm thinking specifically of your experience with Nike.
Yeah, exactly. And I was with them for a long time. I had a great partnership with them. But when that ended 2 years ago, it was a bit different. It opened up completely different opportunities. And this is where in a way, I wasn't in any hurry. I really wanted to take the time to make my next move. And As David said also, I've been very interested always in the fashion aspect, and I just think working with a brand like On that is literally around the corner from where I live, we can always get together. It's really easy, you know, to see each other. We can just catch up for coffee, or they can come around my house and we get together. And I think it's also the team that really, you know, showed me what a great couple of guys they are, and I'd like to spend time with them, you know, to be quite honest, and talk about everything about how I can contribute to the On brand. And like he said, the shoes are super comfortable, they're great, and it's one of the, you know, fastest growing sneaker companies out there, and it's really cool to be part of that story.
Roger, you have a laundry list of brand partnerships as well. I mean, we're talking about On today, but Rolex, Moet, Mercedes-Benz, NetJets, I could just go down the list here. How do you decide who to partner with, and what is your take on the luxury consumer and I guess the luxury industry more broadly right now, especially as we're all focused on this Tiffany LVMH merger?
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I think I've been very fortunate, you know, to have so many wonderful partners and brands I can be an ambassador for. I remember once back in 2004 when I came here to the US Open, people were saying like how I don't have enough partners because, you know, the Americans focus very much who are your partners, and that's how they judge you on how popular you are. In Switzerland, it's a bit the opposite. It's first what your tennis results are, and then only later your partners. And I think it's been great that I actually kept a white canvas until that time, and I was really able to then partner with the best brands in the world, to be honest. And it's been a pleasure, and I think for an athlete, or especially also a tennis athlete, to stay with the same brand for a long time, which I've been able to do, has been a real privilege, and I love it. And I'm sure also some will exceed my playing days. And yeah, the luxury business, I mean, is as strong as ever, I believe. And of course, it's also fun to be part of the LVMH group with Moet and also with Rimowa.
Yeah. Hey, David, you know, shoe business is tough. It's so competitive. I'm curious whether or not you think the biggest edge comes from product design, the actual technology, or if it's more about distribution right now, or if it's more about acquiring partnerships with athletes like Roger.
You know, I think at the end it's very simple. It comes down to products. I mean, we didn't start with the biggest marketing budget, obviously, so we had to really believe in the fact that people really love the product. And that's what made On into the fastest growing fan community in running right now. And we'll continue to do that. And I think a second aspect is as well, people are really today trying, and the next generation is trying to connect with the brand, becoming part of a story of a brand. And I think that's a huge opportunity for small emerging brands that now are getting a lot bigger. And we're getting so much encouragement and feedback from our fans, input from our fans. So I think with On, they really can be part of the journey.
David, listening to you speak, how important is social media?
It is incredibly important. I mean, if we just kind of saw what happened over the last few days when we announced, and all the fans of Roger going crazy, of course, all the On fans going even crazier. It's a huge groundswell that happens in that fan community.
Roger, I want to get your thoughts. I mean, we've seen so many examples over the years of celebrities or professional athletes who have made money and then lost money. Given the fact that you do have these types of partnerships, you make these types of investments, what would your advice be to up-and-coming professional athletes financially?
Me, honestly, conservative, you know. Of course, you got to take chances on the tennis court or in life at times. But at the end of the day, I like to be conservative. I guess it's also a Swiss mentality to some extent. I believe I dream big, but yet we play it safe to some extent. And, you know, and I think that's what it is. I've never done crazy, silly investments, even though this is a big investment at On, and this is the biggest one yet in my time, but I'm very confident about it, and I really think it's going to be a great future for both of us. But you want to be careful and surround yourself with the right people, of course.
Roger, I got to ask you, I mean, just talking about how people are wondering how do you do it at this age, how long you can do it. When you finish a match now, how does it differ in feeling than when you were 25? Is it about the recovery time? Is it about playing fewer matches per year? What's the delta there? What's the change?
Yeah, how big are the aches nowadays to back in the day? It's a good question. It's very different. I just think you recover faster as a teenager or in the beginning of your 20s. You play a tough match and you, without thinking about it, you just feel back to 100% after 2 days. I feel sometimes the same, but it doesn't always come automatically, at 38, and I got to make sure I do my warm-ups right. It's windy at the top. It's tough, and I got to keep on improving and work really hard, but it's definitely more quality over quantity nowadays because I know I can play long matches, and I just got to be selective with my schedule and just make sure that with all my life, everything that's going on is so busy and it's so exciting that I just know how much is too much and how much is not enough. And especially I need to play enough matches because I don't want to only spend time on the practice courts because my passion is to play in front of the people like I just did in South America. I was in Ecuador yesterday and in Mexico City on Saturday. We broke the all-time record for most people in front of 42,000 people, which is double the size of the Arthur Ashe Stadium. So I've had a wonderful life, and I hope I can keep that going. And even if I have more aches nowadays than when I was younger.
Oh. Well, meanwhile, the rest of us just watch in disbelief. You are amazing. Congratulations to both of you. David, Roger, please come back.
All right, we will.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having us.